The movie kicks off with a man returning to his home, only to discover that the electrical circuits have mysteriously malfunctioned, and there are signs of unauthorized movement within the room. Initially suspecting a burglar, the man's unease grows when he approaches a window and encounters a sinister figure lurking behind him. Sensing something amiss, the man whirls around and strikes the enigmatic intruder. To his bewilderment, the blow inflicts no pain on the intruder. Swift and powerful, the mysterious figure swiftly counterattacks, easily overpowering the man. In a horrifying turn of events, the intruder bites the man on the neck, causing his body to develop repugnant pustules. The man collapses to the ground and perishes on the spot. In a macabre twist, the intruder's own body begins to disintegrate, culminating in a rotting corpse. Soon after, the police receive a report and launch an investigation at the crime scene. However, a peculiar revelation sends shivers down their spines. The murderer, who remained at the scene, had been deceased for 2.5 months. Yet, he returned to life with the sinister intent to kill, leaving the attending officers utterly perplexed. As the police grapple with the inexplicable resurrection and the murderer's motives, a breakthrough occurs. The investigator receives a call from a mysterious man who claims to be the true perpetrator. He arranges a live interview for the following day at 2:30 p.m. at a specified location. The police seize this golden opportunity, led by Jean, to apprehend the murderer. They assemble a large contingent of officers at the interview location, prepared for the impending arrest. As anticipated, the murderer indeed appears for the interview, setting the stage for a tense and dramatic confrontation. The interview got underway, and the man answered Jean's questions with remarkable candor, sparing no details. Not only did he disclose his identity and ID card, but he also revealed an astonishing claim. He was a spellcaster with the power to manipulate corpses, and he was the one responsible for the murder the previous night. Jean found it hard to believe such an absurd notion that a corpse could be manipulated for murder. However, the man insisted that she would soon believe, as the purpose of the interview was to issue a chilling warning. The man announced his sinister intentions. In the coming days, he planned to commit 3 more murders, providing explicit details about the locations, times, and individuals to be killed. These targets were all high-ranking executives at Chi-Chi Pharmaceuticals, specifically Director Mencia, Executive Director Sang-in, and Chairman Sundial. He proposed a solution to halt these gruesome acts. Chairman Sundial must publicly apologize, and it was left to Jean to decide if the apology was genuine. The apology would be broadcast live on national television. But as the man spoke, he swiftly brandished a dagger, taking Jean hostage and attempting to flee the scene. As they reached the lobby on the first floor, Jean noticed a peculiar mark on the man's arm. Like the murderer from the outset, the man's body began to decay and transform into a corpse. It became evident that he had been a mere puppet, manipulated by an unseen force. The police launched an investigation to decipher the origin of this eerie spell and understand why it targeted a pharmaceutical company. They learned that the spell, capable of manipulating corpses, was a dark sorcery of Indonesian origin, evident from unique markings in Indonesian script on the corpses. By combining soil found near the crime scenes with the caster's blood, corpses could be controlled to carry out sinister deeds. Meanwhile, Sung Joon led his team in questioning the top management of Chi-Chi Pharmaceuticals, attempting to uncover the motive behind the vendetta. Despite their inquiries, they obtained no substantial leads. The only link was that the initial murder victim had been a researcher at the company. The assailant appeared purposeful, but the reason for targeting Chi-Chi Pharmaceuticals remained shrouded in mystery, leaving the police puzzled and determined to unravel the enigmatic case. The veil of secrecy surrounding Siege Pharmaceuticals began to unravel, revealing shocking revelations that shook those who delved into its dark practices. Inside a prisoner's testimony, the police discovered that Siege Pharmaceuticals had conducted inhumane clinical trials, using living human subjects to develop new drugs in pursuit of hefty profits. The company deceptively recruited over 100 individuals as experimenters under the guise of part-time work, but after these experiments, all of them met their demise. These experiments bore a direct connection to the escalating incidents, as the time for the scheduled murders drew near. To safeguard the people listed as potential targets, the police deployed numerous special forces within the Siege Pharmaceuticals building. They believed this would provide protection, but as the designated time approached, the killer's planned murders unfolded with grim precision. Downstairs, the live broadcast continued as she turned around, only to be met with the eerie sight of a zombie clad in a gray robe. More zombies quickly converged in the square below, all former subjects of the unethical experiments. manipulated by the murderer to exact their vengeful retribution. Their sole purpose is to eliminate the first on their list, Director Mencia. The special forces reacted swiftly as the mark appeared on their arms. The zombie army, terrifyingly agile, targeted victims, and overwhelmed defenses, flooding into the building. Upstairs, Mencia watched in sheer terror. Armed personnel opened fire, but the bullets proved futile. The zombies kept rising. The police turned off the building's lights to halt the zombie advance. As they escorted Mencia to the escape elevator, the zombies closed in. Surprisingly, the zombies paused upon seeing Mencia, leaping to reach her through the elevator. A group of executives, escorted by police, reached the underground parking lot just in time. Zombies emerged from the stairwell, launching an assault. Sung Joon skillfully drove over a zombie to create an escape opportunity. However, they were surprised to find these zombies could also drive, hijacking parked vehicles to pursue the group. This led to a harrowing highway chase, with the living and the undead engaged in a fierce pursuit. The zombies used desperate tactics, including suicide attempts to stop the escape. Sung Joon's exceptional driving skills helped them evade these suicidal assaults. Upon entering a tunnel, the zombies encircled Sung Joon's car, with one assaulting it, shattering the windshield. Some zombies broke the car's windows and infiltrated. Sung Joon bravely opened fire, but their persistence was challenging. After a grueling struggle, they managed to shake off many zombies, leaving only one clinging to the driver. Exiting the tunnel, the car abruptly stopped as the driver succumbed to the virus. Subsequently, zombies converged, encircling him as part of the murderer's sinister plan. Their sole objective was Director Mencia. In a cruel twist, Mencia was captured alive by zombies after being pulled from the vehicle. With their mission accomplished, the zombies turned their attention to Sang-in, still in the car. The vacant gazes suggested he was their next target. The zombies then began to decay and collapse. During the battle against the undead, Sang-in suffered a zombie bite, which, fortunately, didn't seem severe. Medical treatment saved his life, but he realized he might be the next to face the zombie horrors. With the burden of responsibility, Sang-in approached Sunil, the board chairman, in the hope that he would issue a live apology, as instructed by the killer. To his astonishment, Sunil staunchly refused, citing concerns for the company's future. However, upon observing Sang-in's fearful countenance, Sunil agreed to discuss the matter with his daughter, Mi-young. Sang-in had no choice but to depart, and just as he reached the door, he encountered Neon, who had returned at that moment. Sang-in then grasped a chilling revelation. The company was no longer under Sunil's control but was now overseen by Mi-young. He realized that the clinical experiments had been orchestrated by Mi-young to generate additional profits. The police investigation continued as they engaged with the prisoner again. This time, the prisoner provided a vital clue. An elderly Indonesian man approached him after the subject's deaths, claiming his daughter had vanished while working part-time at Cha Pharmaceuticals. The prisoner handled recruitment, and the fate of those within the company remained unknown. He gave the phone number of his contact at CE Pharmaceuticals, whom he thought was the mastermind behind the reanimated corpses. The true culprit was the elderly Indonesian man, and finding him was key to resolving the nightmare. Sang-in, realizing time was running out, confessed and revealed that the human experiments aimed to create a deadly biochemical weapon, not life-saving drugs. He provided the list of experimenters, hoping the police would swiftly end the ordeal. After Sang-in left, they realized that the malevolent spell required soil from the location of the subject's deaths, which happened at the abandoned Institute of Cha Pharmaceuticals. The team set off to investigate. After a thorough search, they stumbled upon a chilling sight in one of the rooms. The walls were adorned with eerie, intricate patterns that sent shivers down their spines. Could these patterns be linked to the manipulation of corpses? Just as they pondered this enigma, an unusual noise suddenly reached their ears. They hurried towards the sound, but Shin Hee sensed something amiss behind them. Their ordeal had only just begun, as more zombies closed in. The two men made a desperate attempt to escape, but the relentless undead were relentless and soon overtook them. Yang-soo was knocked down by a pursuing zombie, while Shin Hee found himself ensnared by a zombie's grip. At a critical juncture, a heroic figure arrived to rescue Shin Hee, none other than Jin Hee's sister. Much like the elderly Indonesian man, Jin's sister was also a spellcaster. She had been tormented by malevolent spirits and journeyed to Japan in search of a solution. After 2.5 years of searching, she visited a temple in China, where a senior monk provided guidance. While unable to break free from the haunting, she learned to manipulate the spirits using a spell. Sensing danger, Jean's sister took action, grotesquely contorting the zombie's body with a touch. They fled to a laboratory as other zombies closed in. She created an invisible barrier with a special brush and her bloodied fingers. Young-soo remained outside, hiding under a table to evade the zombies, who failed to find the sisters but were drawn to Young-soo, endangering him. To save him, Jean's sister ventured out, defeating several zombies but facing dire straits. Young-soo attempted to help but was thrown aside. In the end, Jean's sister overcame the last zombie and neutralized the threat with her unique touch, saving the day. As the trio managed to escape from the institute, they were met with the shocking revelation that Sang-in, burdened by immense stress, had chosen to take his own life. Meanwhile, Sunil reluctantly agreed to issue a public apology. However, his apology was far from sincere, consisting of mere perfunctory words before quickly dismissing the matter. This would not quell the violence but only further infuriate the elusive murderer. Back at the police station, the captain, after a thorough investigation of the list of experimenters, successfully located the daughter of the elderly Indonesian man. The captain promptly conveyed this vital information to He, who was engaged in a live apology. Jean He received the message with dread, realizing the girl was her former assistant. A few days ago, Jean He had interviewed her unknowingly, as the girl had been manipulated by the elderly Indonesian man and then joined the company as her assistant. While the police continued their search at the institute, they located the older man's hideout with Sojin's assistance. The elderly man had discarded his disguise and was directly manipulating his daughter to confront Jean He. Witnessing Sunil's insincere words on stage, the elderly man was consumed by fury, causing the studio lights to flicker. He manipulated his daughter's body and menacingly approached Sunil. Others tried to intervene, but the elderly man had lost his rationality and was resolute in making Sunil pay with his life. Sunil and Mi-young were intercepted as they tried to escape. Mi-young extended her hand, causing her body to rot. On the other side, Sojin disrupted the elderly man's spell, allowing Sunil to escape. The elderly man was left in tears of resignation, failing to exact vengeance, and denied an apology for his daughter's tragic loss. However, the story did not conclude there. Neon, the individual who had initiated the entire chain of events, entered the room where her father was hiding. Sunil could never have anticipated that he had escaped the vengeance of his enemies but not that of his own daughter's deadly intent. Neon proceeded to eliminate all the witnesses by severing the girl's finger with a piece of toilet paper, and when Sunil was not looking, she inflicted a wound on his face. Shortly after, Sunil succumbed to the virus, falling to the ground. Upon the police's arrival, Mi-young feigned distress and pretended to be a victim. Unbeknownst to her, all of her actions were captured by the surveillance equipment installed before the interview. The camera, positioned on Sunil's chest, had broadcast the entire ordeal live. This meant that not only her words but also the act of killing her father had been publicly documented. The evidence was irrefutable, leading to Mi-young's immediate arrest and subsequent punishment. In the end, all the efforts made by the elderly Indonesian man for his daughter and the innocent experimenters reached a fitting and conclusive resolution. Sang-in has also fully healed from the zombie bite, and the movie concludes with a happy ending.